Lower Manhattan. It is time, God. It is time as the band is out here practicing behind me. We about to walk back over to the courts. But man, it is time, guys. It is finally here. The conclusion of the Diddy trial. After about 2 months of this, it is coming all to an end. Closing arguments. The prosecution went today, and the defense. The defense is going to bring the heat, the fire, the smoke. They will cook tomorrow. They will cook tomorrow. Hit that like button. And guys, there is a outside chance Diddy can walk free tomorrow, guys. Let me cross this street. I don't want to get hit by a car on this live. There is a chance Diddy can walk free tomorrow via the plea deal. Via the plea deal, guys. So look out for that. We will be back out here tomorrow for the conclusion of this case. And like I said, Diddy can walk if they do a plea deal tomorrow. Let me see who's in this building. I'm going to get to what went down today, guys, inside the court. And let me get this out the way. The prosecution, they brung it. And of course, they were going to bring it. It's their final day, basically, to close out their case in front of the jurors. And it was their job to bring it. You know, I mean, what else did I expect? Of course, the prosecution is highly skilled. They are highly skilled at putting black men in jail, right? You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they were going to bring it today. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry. The defense is going to cook tomorrow, right? And like I said, I give the prosecution credit because they, they copy and pasted a RICO racket case, and they brung it out here, and now Diddy is facing 15 years to life in prison, right? So it is what it is, and I think that this is an abuse of the RICO by the feds. I believe it wasn't written up to be for these type of situations. But either way, that's where we at right now. As far as the case, the RICO, nothing Diddy could do about it right now. Even though I believe that Bad Boy Records is not a criminal organization, and these racketeering charges should not have been levied. It should have been something else, different charges, state charges for the abuse of Cassie or whatever. But it is what it is right now, and it is coming to a head. It is coming to a head. And one thing I want to explain before we get into this, Kanye West might be out here tomorrow. A lot of Diddy family was here earlier today, and also, we're speaking of Kanye West, and this is the reason I don't really want the feds to win this in this manner and get a conviction, because Kanye, who's to say Kanye West is not going to be facing the same charges down the road once he break up with that female that he's with now, his wife, right? What's her name? Sincere or something like that. And she be dressing all half naked outside in the parties and doing stuff. And I read an article said that she didn't want to wear a certain skimpy outfit, and he paid her like $100,000 to wear it. And it's like, what's to stop her down the road for being called to a criminal case against Kanye and testifying against him, saying, hey, I was coerced to wear this skimpy outfit because I told him, I pleaded with him, I didn't want to wear it. I'm looking half naked out in these streets, and but he wouldn't say no, and he paid me $100,000 to wear the skimpy outfit, and now the feds come in, coercion, RICO, it's RICO. Because you know why it's RICO? Because Kanye West, you see these text messages. Kanye West texted his lead assistant to tell his wife that she should wear, this skimpy outfit, go ahead and do it. Get on your job and wear the Skippy outfit. He left her with no choice. So that's coercion. So we are proving Kanye West's record company is a criminal organization. RICO, we proved it. RICO racketeering. Kanye West, he's the Black John Gotti. His assistant is in cahoots. Guys, but like I said, man, the prosecution did a great job today. Like I said, they copy and pasted this thing, and and they came up with for racketeering. Congratulations to them. But like I said, Diddy's defense team is gonna cook tomorrow. Let me see who's in the building. Drabanot is in the building. Salute to you, Drabanot. How you doing, Drabanot? We outside says he's cooked like bacon. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see tomorrow. As I'm gonna walk over to the other side because this band is over in my ear. And let me see. Hit the like button, though, guys. Hit the like button. On the other side, and I'm trying to really avoid crazy people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna walk back over to the other side. See what's going on over there. It's gonna be a madhouse tomorrow, though. It's gonna be a madhouse tomorrow. But like I said, the prosecution, man, they came, they brung it. Like I said, it's their job to put people in jail, right? The prosecution's job is to put people in prison. They're not here to let people off, right? And they dropped the atomic bomb on Diddy. They did. And it is what it is right now. And as far as the two predicates to the RICO, attempted kidnapping and attempted, what was the other one? Arson. Those were cut, but they did bring up actual arson and actual kidnapping. Everybody thought that they wasn't going to argue those yesterday because of TMZ. TMZ put the thing out that they was dropping all that, but they were mistaken. They was only dropping the attempted kidnapping and attempted arson. So, but I still seen YouTubers still reporting as late as last night, and I'm like, well, nah, I don't know. It's understandable in the beginning when TMZ first put it out there, but eventually, that's neither here or there. But hit the like button, though, guys. You guys come in. KL is in the building. Salute you, KL. I'm trying to get away from the band. The band seems like it's a walking band following me around. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no background band, guys. I don't need no background. Background band following me around. We're going to the other side of this court building. Ronin Travelers in the building. Salute to you, Ronin Travelers. How y'all doing? We are live for the Diddy trial. It's going to be a hectic day tomorrow. Big time day tomorrow. Diddy can walk tomorrow. He can. It's an outside possibility. He can walk. Like I said, the prosecutors finish up their closing statements. Tomorrow, starting around 9 o'clock a.m., the defense is going to have their closing statements. And it's going to be around 3 hours. 3 to 4 hours. And then they're going to do a lunch break. And then the prosecution is going to get like an hour if they want to rebuttal. And then the judge is going to give the instructions to the jury. And then they can start deliberations. I don't know if they would deliberate tomorrow. The judge said, it just depends on the, time frame and how quick the defense finishes up and all of that. Or they might start deliberations on the verdict on Monday, right? But there is a chance that he could still walk free tomorrow if they do a plea deal. People are not mentioning a plea deal. There is a chance for another plea deal offer for Diddy. So we're going to be out here tomorrow because there's going to be a lot of media out here because this case is coming to a close and it can end tomorrow, guys, with the plea deal. I doubt they're going to get to a jury verdict tomorrow, but they might start with the jury deliberations tomorrow. But there can be a plea deal and Diddy could walk free tomorrow if the deal is probation and time served or something like that. If it's like 2 or 3 years, then he won't be walking free on a plea deal. But there is a chance Diddy can walk free, and I expect his defense team to bring the fire, the heat tomorrow. Bark Agnifilio is going to be the one doing the closing arguments for Diddy's defense team, and they're going to bring it. Let me see. Shout out to Ronin Travelers in the building. Shout out to you, Ronin. How you doing? Can we get can we get Razor a suit for the verdict? Watch Jay Now. Shout out to you, Jay Now. Hey, well, if I was going inside the court, I'm not going to be inside the court tomorrow. I'll be outside. Well, it's probably going to be around 70 degrees. It's going to be filled. It's not going to be like 90 something degrees tomorrow. So I don't know, you know. But no, I'm not wearing no suit tomorrow though. we're not doing that. But you know, I'm gonna be out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who's over here on this other side of this court. There's gonna be a lot of media out here tomorrow. There was a lot of media today out here. So it might be double the media tomorrow because, like I said, there can be a plea deal. You know what I'm saying? We won't have a verdict as far as more than likely tomorrow because it's not gonna be enough time for the for the jury to do all that. But let me see. You have no idea what RICO. Oh yes, we outside. I have a lot of idea what RICO is, and I believe they abused the RICO. I know what RICO is, and over the years they have been adding on new stuff to the RICO, and I think it's an abuse of RICO. I mean, you could bob for the federal government and play feds if you want. I'm not helping the feds put rich black men in jail. You can. Diddy wasn't accused of A minors, underage stuff with underage people. You know what I'm saying? You know, I believe these were all consenting adults. Jane Doe, Cassie, 13 years. So you mean to tell me that what the prosecutors is trying to say that Diddy basically had Cassie as a sex slave and basically forced her to do all these free calls for 13 years. And if all 12 jurors believe that, he's going to be doing 15 years to life. Because those sex trafficking charges carry a minimum of 15 years of life. So I know exactly what RICO and sex trafficking means. But I don't believe, listen, I believe in personal accountability. Those females were chasing the money. They were chasing the fame. They were chasing the stardom. They wanted it to be with Diddy, right? They could have left. They stayed around. She stayed around for 13 years. She cheated a bit. So if she was that scared of Diddy, she ended up cheating on him. If she was that scared, she would have never cheated on him, right? First, she had a few people she was sleeping around with. So if she was that scared, she would have been even doing that. She'd have been too scared to give it for another man while with Diddy, right? And it's the media, across the street, the tents, you know? But, let me see. Eric Terry, I can definitely see the Mann Act indictment, but the other stuff doesn't seem like it will stick. I'm no legal expert, but this is my opinion. Yes, and you know, nobody's a legal expert out here. Well, I mean, you know, there is legal experts out here inside that building, of course. You know, there's a bunch of lawyers and judges inside the building. But over here on YouTube, you know, I ain't no legal expert, but you know, it's up to those 12 jurors for one of them to have common sense and to say, you know what? Yeah, technically, the government loosely proved these RICO acts. They did loosely. It's a copy and paste type thing, but I don't believe Bad Boy Records was ever a criminal organization to begin with. So these RICO racketeering charges should be null and void. Now, that's going to be for the defense to say tomorrow. And I believe they're going to say that. They're not going to say it like I said it, but they're going to say something similar. And it's going to be up for the jury to hear those words, what the defense is going to say about this shouldn't have ever been a RICO racketeering case anyway, from the start. You know, those sex trafficking, Jane, they're gonna be like Jane and Cassie, they were in relationships, which they were. They were in relationships with Diddy. They were boyfriend, girlfriend, freaky, insane, dare I say disgusting type relationships, swinger relationships, but that's not illegal. That's not illegal. why is the government inside people's bedrooms? They call it depolicing. Seems like the government is depolicing right now. And they loosely tied a bunch of, text messages and this and that. Coercion, Jane coerced. She didn't want to do the freak offs, but he was paying $10,000 for her to do, And so she just said, you know what? I don't want to go work for myself. I don't want to go back to OnlyFans. So let me go get this easy 10 grand and let me just participate. Even though there was she didn't really want to do it, but she's a grown lady. And she went on to do it. If I don't want to do something in life, right? And I have friends that's trying to peer pressure me to doing something I don't want to do. And if I go do it, and then later on, I wish I would have never did that. Who else is to blame but myself for that? You know what I'm saying? For me doing that. Jane did that for like 3 years, got like $150,000 from him. Cassie, 10 to 13 years. Relationships, messages, saying that she loved him. Now, I know about all the other freaking stuff that they said that he forced her, he threatened her, and this and that. But there were text messages saying she loved it, she loved this and loved that. Was it a Capricorn Clark, the person that said she was kidnapped for a few days? She said, oh, she loved the lifestyle. She would go back. They did go back. That's my issue with these people. They went back to Diddy. If he was so dangerous and they feared for their life, why did they return back when they were free? Now you can't come now saying, oh, he coerced me, he gave me all this money, and I was coerced, I was gaslit, I was this. It's like these high-priced 304s is trying to have their cake and eat it too, which they are getting it. In today's society, they are getting it. They're getting, Cassie got 20 million. But she got 20 million for the video, for the beat down. So that was on Diddy was an idiot for doing that. But she got 20 million. She got really in another 10 million, got 30 million for her troubles, I guess, as far as him beating on her. But as the defense is going to say, this case is not about domestic violence. He is not charged with domestic violence. That would have been the easiest thing to get him on. But they copy and pasted like I said, I give the prosecution and the feds credit. I think it's an abuse of the RICO. But they did copy and paste some stuff and got some text messages and, RICO. And, it is what it is. And they went through count after count. And they did a good job of pasting together and doing a court of public opinion. And those 12 jurors, they listened to that. I believe the defense is going to do the same thing tomorrow. They're going to go from count to count and smack down every accusation made today by the prosecution. And as that's happening, right? Guess what? I'm going to see. Now, I've seen some people today was like, oh, Diddy lost today. Diddy's in trouble. I said, look, the prosecution was always going to win today because it was going to be just them alone. When I seen the schedule, it was going to be just them alone. And they were going to make their closing statement for like 4 hours, which they did. So Diddy was going to look bad today no matter what. Basically, all the prosecution really did, they didn't say anything we didn't know already. We've seen all this. I've been covering this. Everything the prosecution said today, I already seen those text messages. I seen all that. So I don't know why people are so like, oh my God, Diddy has done that. No. I seen all that already. And I still say that it's an abuse of the RICO. And I still say that this should not be a RICO racketeering. So, and now tomorrow, the Diddy's defense team is going to come with the fire, the smoke. And guess what's going to happen? Ask Mark, affiliate, what's his name? Affilio is making his reasons, putting his reasons why Diddy should not be guilty of this. I'm going to see people crying like, damn, Diddy defense team. They're so corrupt. They're so evil. Oh, how dare they say that about the victims? People are going to be complaining. People are going to be mad that Diddy has a defense that is knocking down all of the nonsense that the prosecution was saying. And I'm telling you, things are going to sway tomorrow because they're going to have about 4 hours right? Breaking down point by point. People gonna be big mad. People gonna be big mad that Diddy's defense team is making a case for him to get released, right? They're gonna be like, oh, how dare they? It's gonna be a lot of crying. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of crying on YouTube in these chats. Because all the celebrating you see right now, just because they did closing statements, the defense gets to make their case tomorrow for 4 hours in front of 12 jurors. And guess what? They're going to go to deliberation, and they're going to have the whole weekend to have the final thing they really hear is the defense. Now, I know that they can do a rebuttal, the prosecution, which they most likely do if they're smart, which they are smart. Like I said, the prosecution is highly skilled at putting black people in prison. So they will do a rebuttal tomorrow. So basically, I guess really the jurors, the last people the jurors here will be the prosecutors, right? Because they're going to do the rebuttal, right? I don't know if the defense is going to be then able to rebuttal the prosecution rebuttal. I don't know, but let's say they're gonna get 4 hours worth of their closing arguments in, so the jury can sleep on it over the next few days. You know what I mean? And that was smart for the defense team to say, look, let's not follow up today because we're not gonna have enough time to finish. I want to have a whole day of testimony, but not testimony, but a whole day of closing arguments on Friday to ourselves. Let the jurors, rest up, because from reports inside there, some people were saying the jury was kind of falling asleep, or kind of dozing off. Some members of the jury was falling asleep, dozing off a bit as they got close to time to leave, and so it was smart not to start the defense today, get a whole day. I think maybe the defense will probably play some little gamesmanship, take their time, because I think they kind of want the jury to get the whole weekend to think about this, right? And I think that's they're gonna get 4 hours, and the jury is gonna really. And listen, the jury is not supposed to be looking at social media, right? But they're not sequestered. Those jurors are not sequestered. You know damn well, I know they watching all this stuff. They probably watching me right now on the live. Hey jurors. Hey jurors, this is a reach. Hey jury. This is RICO abuse, jury. So jurors, I know you're watching. Alright. Here's that they're not supposed to be watching. But like I said, it's going to be things gonna listen. Everybody watching that was watching the prosecution, and I see everybody doing videos, those videos. Diddy, they proved RICO. They proved it. Look, the prosecution didn't say nothing I didn't already see, and I've been saying, look, this is a far reach. All they did was put it all together. They had like 3 hours to go, 4 hours. With really no real rebuttal by the defense. I guess they want to save it for tomorrow. And so people are crying. I'm like, wow, don't cry about it. I mean, this is court. Like I said, they are highly skilled at putting people in jail inside that building. That building right there. They are highly skilled at putting people in jail. I know I said black men, but hey, white men too. They highly skilled about putting anybody. Once they get you on a RICO, they are highly skilled at closing the deal and putting people in there. You know what I'm saying? Salute, Max. Anybody new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's Raze. We're going to be back out here tomorrow because tomorrow is the big day. Diddy could walk, possibly. Plea deal. The plea deal route, okay? Tomorrow. So we're going to be on verdict watch tomorrow, too. We're going to be back out here. It's going to be a crazy amount of people out here. Or Diddy's family is going to be out here. Who knows? Kanye West might show up. Also, and like I said earlier, Kanye West better be careful, because he might get hit with coercion also by the feds, with the lady he's with, having her dressed all half naked. You know what I'm saying? They break up a couple of years down the road. The feds decide to go after Kanye for something, and they bring her in saying that oh, she didn't want to wear those, skimpy outfits and stuff like that, and she was coerced into wearing the skimpy outfits. She was paid $100,000 to wear the skimpy outfits, and she tried to tell Kanye West's assistant that she didn't want to dress like that, and Kanye West sent text messages to his assistant to tell her, no, she got to get on her job and wear it. It'll be great, and this and that. And the fans say, well, that's RICO because that's racketeering because he's sending messages and orders to his assistant. It's a criminal organization. You see where we're going with this? So guys, hey men, I'm warning you guys. Men, I'm warning you. Men that got money, the men that was planning on becoming rich and becoming millionaires, stay the hell away from those Instagram models. Stay the hell away from those Instagram models. You are risking losing your money. You are risking losing your freedom, guys. Because the government is inside your bedrooms now, and they will charge you with coercion. Don't buy those females no gifts. Don't pay their rent. You see, women? You see what's going on, right? Now you're making rich people, rich men, you're making them scared to pay your rent. Don't pay their rent. Don't buy no cars. Don't leave with your wallets. Just leave with love. And the funny thing is, because they're gonna say it's coercion. They say the funny thing is Jane to this day keeps saying she loves Diddy. So how was that coercion? She was in love with the guy. Grown adult, not underage, not a minor. You ever text with Cassie saying she loved him? I mean, they just had swinger lifestyles. Cassie did swinging with some other guys without Diddy. Jane went to swinging parties without Diddy. Said she was in love with him. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Hit the like button, though, guys. But men, rich men especially, watch and learn what's going on with Diddy. I'm telling you, don't buy your girls no gifts. It's gonna be coercion. Coercion. Hit that like button. Let me run to the Trek to the building. I'm way behind. Dolph Mouth is in the building. Hit the like button. Everybody new to the channel, hit that like button. Raze live for the Diddy trial, guys. I'm trying to avoid crazy people out here. We're trying to see, So sometimes I be trying to wait for the crowd to disperse. I'm not trying to smack nobody out here, because I don't want to spend a weekend in jail with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Because you go and you know how it is. You go to you get arrested on a Friday. You're not getting out till Monday. I be spending time in jail with Diddy over the weekend. Cause these people out here are crazy. Some of these people, they be all up on you or close to you. Like, yo, back up. Unless you wanna do an interview. Why you all up in my face and all behind me making noise, weird sounds? You know what I'm saying? They got NBC over there. Look at NBC. Look. They ready. Okay. They are ready over there. Well, like I said, guys, congratulations to the prosecution, for copying and pasting and putting together a RICO racketeering where there's shit. Like I said, guys, let me ask you guys, do y'all believe Bad Boy Records is a criminal organization? Now, normally, like I said yesterday, criminal organizations a la the mafia, the mob, normally when you join that organization, you know what you're getting yourself into. You know you're going to do some crimes, criminal activities. They're trying to say Christina Karam was a co-conspirator with the crimes, and, his employees, his security guards and stuff like that. When I'm like, well, they were just doing their job. They went there not to join a criminal organization. Now, you can say Diddy did some crimes himself on his own. If you want to say he delved into prostitution and stuff like that, which is 15 years or whatever. But they were just working for Bad Boy Records. They didn't sign up to do criminal activity. I don't see that as the same as joining a cartel or anything like that either. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I believe the RICO is being abused right now, and no telling the limits. There is no limits where the feds can bring on RICO if this goes through and they are successful. But tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow there is a chance that there will be a plea deal. So we're gonna be out here, guys. Hit the like button. We shall be out here, guys. But I'm telling you guys, men, be careful. Do not deal with those Instagram models. You can look at them. You can look at them. You know, you could scroll down. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because there was some bad. No, those Instagram models be bad. But guys, if you got money and you're in the States, you are facing that in there eventually. Because once you break up, guess what's waiting for you? Wait, guess what's waiting? You know what I'm saying? Coercion charges, you coerced. You know what I'm saying? You bought her a Denali. That's coercion. You bought your girl a Denali, an Escalade, so she won't leave you. Or because she was threatening to leave you. If you bought her some gifts, you bought her some gold chains, gold rings, and she came back to sleep with you. And then later on, she talked about that was coercion, I was gaslit, you know. I mean, I just think the government needs to stay out of people's bedrooms, you know what I'm saying? To be honest with you. Hit that like button, though, guys. Salute AK Ideas. Man, Enrique's in the. Yeah, no, we can't put that up there. Like I said, Kanye West might show up at Trex tomorrow. Diddy might be popping baby oil bottles if you are correct. Well, I think if he does get probation, whatever, you know, time for 4th of July, who knows? I mean, it might be against his probation for him to leave the country. I don't know. I don't know. If he does, if they do offer him a plea deal tomorrow, you know. But like I said, there's a possibility he could walk out of here free man tomorrow. And like I said, just because the prosecution had a great day today, that don't mean the defense is not going to have a great day tomorrow. And that everybody that's rooting for Diddy to go get locked up and celebrating the prosecution for having a great day today, they're going to be crying tomorrow because the defense is going to have a great day tomorrow. So you're going to see people crying and whining that Diddy is even allowed to have a defense. I don't even think a lot of people don't even want Diddy to have a defense. They don't want his lawyers to talk. They're gonna be trying to break the TV screen once they see that any good defense that they are making about those women were not coerced. Those women were willing adult participants. Remember, I'm gonna keep reminding you guys, for people that don't know, there was no minors involved in this. It's not R. Kelly. I think people are getting this confused. This is not an R. Kelly situation. These were grown adults. Now you can call some of these grown adults freaks. You could call some of these grown adults idiots. You could call Jane an idiot for continuing to stay with Diddy, continuing to this day as she was testifying against him, saying that she loved him, that she still loves him. I don't know how that could be coercion. Oh, guys, I mean, it is what it is at this point. But like I said, like I've been saying, I don't mind Diddy doing 3 to 5 years. I think there were some crimes committed here and there. I don't believe prostitution and paying prostitutes like the Punisher should be worth 15 years of life, because that's the minimum for sex trafficking, right? Well, I guess the man that, you know, for up to 10 years. I mean, just. If that's the case, why aren't the prostitutes themselves being arrested? Matter of fact, the entertainers, because that's what Diddy's defense team is calling them. They said, look, Diddy hired these people as entertainers, and escorts. The Punisher and them people, they didn't testify that they were prostitutes. They testified that they were entertainers, they were escorts. And that's what Diddy hired them to be, right? Whatever happened once they got inside the room, you know what I'm saying? he gave them a tip. He gave them a good tip for a job well done of entertaining. You know. Yeah, hit that like button though, guys. You know, hit that like button. Just the Facts is in the building. The countdown begin. What up, Just the Facts? Salute to you. I know Just the Facts. You ready? You ready, Just the Facts, for them all? Do trial. I look like David Goggins. Shout out to Anonymous. Hit that like button, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification, comment. Shout out to you. Yo, yes, best. Everybody new to this channel, watching the stream, subscribe, sub up. Rock City Mary. My fault. Rock City Mob says free Diddy. Then go back the next day and do the same thing. All right. Diddy going to jail. Hey, you might be right. You might be right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got no control over the 12 jurors, but all they need is one. And like I said, people are going to be crying tomorrow. Once the Diddy defense start their thing, people are going to be crying that Diddy's defense team is not playing fair. How dare they victim shame these females? How dare they? You're going to see it. And I'm going to come right back and I'm going to analyze what happened. And if I say Diddy team had a good day, I'm going to say they had a good day. Like I said, I give the prosecution credit for having a great day today. But the thing is, I expected them to, because it was their closing arguments. And I expect the defense to have a great day tomorrow. And it's going to go over the weekend more than likely. And we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let me see. Strill Life is in the building. Salute to you, Strill Life. Hopefully all is well with you. You boots to the ground today? Yes, boots to the ground. Did you see the video of Diddy and Jay-Z talking about how he beat the jail system? No, I didn't see that video. Michael Hope. I would have used Ryan Steele for the closing argument, Raven. But hey, Mark Affilio, hey, it is what it is. I guess he's the lead guy on the team, so they're gonna use him. I would have used Brian Steele. I seen what Brian Steele did, courtesy of the Young Thug. He was able to get Young Thug that plea deal. But hey, it is what it is. Jesus in the building, John Smith in the building. Who else in the building?
Parking lot.
And Lee is in the building, Antonio is in the building, John Smith in the building. Bad is in the building, Slew Bad. Take that. Like I said, it's a possibility. Passport Mars in the building, salute to you. There's a possibility it could be a plea deal. Diddy could walk out of here. It's a possibility Diddy can walk out of here if they do a plea deal. People are not discussing that. People are not discussing the possibility of a plea deal, guys. Oh, Bianca Cesari is a female. Yeah, Bianca Cesari, Kanye's girl, right? You know, she started to talk about, you know, I was forced to wear this and, you know, dress half naked, you know. I was coerced. They could get Kanye on the same thing they getting Diddy on. Oh, she didn't want to have sex every night, and you know, it's like you in people's bedrooms. Sometimes your wife don't want to have sex every night, but if you convince her, they're gonna say that's coercion. You're coercion. Just because you're convicting somebody to do it, that's a coercion now. It's a crime. It's illegal. It's like, where are we guys? Pandora's box. Setting bad precedents. Diddy turning rat for police said street smarts. If YSL got off and they actually committed crimes, Bad Boy is not a criminal organization. Maurice, I've been saying, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of y'all guys probably don't know about the charges YSL was hit with state RICO and racketeering. What's worse, the things Diddy was doing in his private, time in his hotel rooms, freak offs, swinger lifestyle, or the YSL case with Young Thug and them guys out there in Atlanta, where they claim shootouts and all types of other stuff. What's worse? And Young Thug, he got probation, and there's other people, actual co-conspirators that were on trial and arrested. They got probation too. Actual people got arrested with Young Thug for that. Unlike here, this is the one-man RICO so far. I'm hearing about Christina Karan, but until I see, this is, like I said, I think it's the abuse of RICO. I think this is an abuse of the RICO, and it's going to get out of hand, and it's getting out of hand. You give these guys an inch, they're going to take them out. You give the people in there the robe that's wearing the robe in the prosecution. You give those people in there an inch, and they take them out. Hit that like button, though, guys. Support the stream. Hit the Cash App or Super Chat. Yes. Cash App, Super Chat. This is coming to an end. Antonio Davis. Sex is not a crime. Well, they're pretty much saying it is. They still got prostitution listed as a crime in the States. The guy's facing basically 15 years to life for having his girlfriends engaged in threesomes. Basically, that's what it's coming down to. They're saying he trafficked Cassie and Jane Doe. Those are the most serious charges, and they're saying because they did all types of, freak offs and threesomes, and maybe a day or two they didn't want to do it, but he convinced them to do it. That means he coerced them. 15 years to life in prison, and that's the basic. That's the biggest charge. I know the conspiracy charge, but that's the big. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. So you're gonna get 15 years to life for that. That's what's going on in a nutshell. Let's ask Biggie and Tupac. Let's ask them what? What you want to ask Biggie and Tupac? They're not part of this trial, Street Smarts. I'm going by what I'm seeing inside there. You know what I'm saying? Not what other people are saying on YouTube. That's another reason why they did this to F others. Throwing money at the hookahs, Passport Mars. Shout out to you, Passport Mars. Too late for a plea deal. He had his chance to take before. No, it's not too late. The prosecution can offer multiple plea deals. They did offer one before the trial, but he's not taking that. I think it was for like 15 years in jail, in prison. He's not taking that. Multiple plea deals can be offered. Multiple plea deals can be offered by the prosecution, and we'll see if one is offered tomorrow. If Diddy's team asks for one tomorrow, I don't know. Or if one offered tomorrow, but there can be multiple plea deals offered in these cases. Apartment. All right. Let me see. Apartment R with the $2 donation. Did you see Diddy coming in and out of court? Yeah, but I never see Diddy coming in and out of court because he doesn't come through here. Now the family, the moms, the kids, they go through there, and the jurors, not the jurors, but the people for jury duty go through there. But the lawyers come out of here, but not Diddy himself. Not Diddy himself. Because He's in custody. He's not out on bail or nothing like that. He doesn't. Diddy, I never seen Diddy come out of there or go inside Judea. But shout out to your apartment off for that $2 donation. Just like in the Jonathan Majors case, New York is overcharging people. They wanted a blockbuster case. Yeah, Jonathan Majors. Yeah, you see, and like I said, man. Like I said, I'm not saying Diddy is not guilty of anything in life or with the situation with Cassie. I don't believe this is 15 years of life worth of stuff. Sets a horrible precedent. You know. And how are you using Jane and she's still saying she loved the guy? The defense is going to slaughter. The defense is going to cook tomorrow. They're going to have 3 or 4 hours to cook. And you know what I'm saying? And explain why those was consensual relationships. And since when is trying to convince a girl to sleep with you, even though she don't want to sleep with you, and if you are successful at convincing the girl to sleep with you, that's coercion. I say that's convincing. You got the girl you convinced the girl to sleep with you. She can't come back later on, or the feds hop in later on and say you coerced her. I mean, men buy females gifts to try to get them to sleep with them. I mean, so every man in the States basically that ever got laid by a female, y'all coerced those females. Those females didn't really want to sleep with you. She really thought you was ugly. But just because you bought her a diamond ring, a gold chain, she changed her mind and slept with you. Coercion. You go in jail. Am I lying? Am I lying? Is this a reach by the feds? We'll see tomorrow. That's how Diddy's team is gonna play it. That's how Diddy. And all they need is one juror to say, yeah, it's a reach. I find not guilty. When I make the charges. Anybody new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be back live tomorrow. Final day of the Diddy trial tomorrow. But more than likely, they're gonna go to deliberations on Monday. More than likely. So if we gotta come back, we can come back out here Monday also. We're gonna come here tomorrow to the case. We have a plea deal, whatever. We come back on Monday, for possible verdict. So we will be on the verdict watch. We will be on verdict watch, guys. Peaches said it won't happen. Fresh Boy is in the building. Exactly. Kevin Rome says free Puff. Well, tomorrow we're going to have some people out here with the free Diddy shirts. I seen a couple out here earlier today with the free Puffy shirts, free Diddy. Let me see. It's so much more in the rabbit hole. Y'all don't know. You know. Thea H, why didn't they ask any witnesses if young children were at the parties? Like I said, I didn't hear anything about A minors or underage, so I can't add that part of this case. Because if there was proof that happened, the feds would have added that to this trial. All those people in the lawsuits with Tony Busby and that crew, they would have surely added at least 1 or 2 of those underage people that were underage when this stuff happened at the freak offs. You would think. I would think they would. They would have if they really felt that there was some underage activity going on. So, like I said, I think we were all like gaslit from the start of this, and like I said, it'll all be put out there tomorrow by the Diddy defense team, and the people that are pretty much celebrating right now after the prosecution put out their final statements. they're going to be crying tomorrow and mad at Diddy's defense team because they are going to be trying to get Diddy free. And that's just the way it'll go. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be crying tomorrow. You know what I mean? They're going to be crying tomorrow. Because all Diddy's defense team got to do is put some reasonable doubt inside just one of those jurors. That's all. Reasonable doubt that the witnesses got their dates wrong. The alleged witnesses were lying, perjured themselves. And maybe you get one of the jurors to say, look, I don't agree with sex trafficking being 15 years of life in this instance. Flying grown adults across state lines, who cares? That's grown folks. No underage minors engaging in that. That shouldn't be a crime. Matter of fact, I'm practicing jury nullification. I don't agree with that being the law, so I find not guilty. Y'all don't know anything about those jurors as far as their mindset right now, what's going on. Y'all have zero clue. Everybody thought OJ was gonna be found guilty. Remember, the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Johnny Cochran, right? In this case, if the condom don't fit, you must have quit. If the condom don't fit, you must have quit. What a crazy case this is, man. What a crazy case this is. This is a crazy case. It's an awkward case. This is an awkward RICO case, man. This is a weird case. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Roll Moonchild's in the building. Hit that like button though, guys. You know what I'm saying? What about the Rule 26? Judge make... I didn't see anything about the decision about the Rule 26. Now, this is a new judge. He's like 2 to 3 years in. He was never gonna acquit Diddy. He's too new of a judge to do that. You know what I'm saying? He was never gonna take this out of the hands of the jurors. You know. KL's in the building. Salute KL. Raze up, bring some junior cheesesteaks tomorrow and we can chop it up. Says Street Smart. Hey, that means I would have to. Yeah, well, Diddy had to make it a band. People go and get the you know, the juniors, right? Walk across the bridge. Like I said, I don't know what nobody knows what those 12 jurors are gonna do. Like I said, they might be watching me right now. They're not supposed to. The 12 jurors is not supposed to be watching any social media, anything about the case, but they might have me on their screen right now. Raise the Raze. Because the jury is not sequestered. So they're seeing everything. They're seeing all the hoopla. They've been seeing all the hoopla. In the media, they watching. They got family members. They probably talking about it with their family members. They're not allowed to tell their family members that they're on the jury. But I mean, the conversation comes up. Anyway, not about them being on the jury, but the conversation about Diddy. And we's about to end this. This is about to come to a close, guys. Right now, you see the people camped out with the tents because they're holding spots for people to enter the courtroom tomorrow around 5:30, 6 o'clock. It's gonna, start to pile up over here, and they're gonna be trying to enter right here because a lot of people are gonna want to be in here, to see the defense, or maybe if they work out a plea deal, people are gonna want to be in there to see the reactions of the facial expressions of Diddy, of the lawyers, of the jurors inside there. And like I said, these people with the tents right here. They hold it down spots. So this is it. This is it right here. It's coming to an end. This is coming to an end. It's gonna be high drama late tomorrow. Once the prosecution finishes their rebuttal of the defense, And then as the judge is giving his instructions to the jurors for their verdict, and it goes into deliberation. It's gonna be high drama. Like I said, there's a chance of a plea deal also tomorrow. You know? Hit that like button outside the Diddy trial, guys. Let me see. KL Free Diddy he says. MAC, the prosecution gave an excellent closing statement today. Yes, MAC, yeah. And like I said, I give credit where credit is due. They did a great copy and paste of the whole case, and they put it together. I still say it's an abuse of RICO, but they did what they had to do in MAC, and it is what it is. Tomorrow, the defense is going to bring the smoke also and do what they got to do. And it's going to go to the jury in MAC. More than likely, they're going to be deliberating over the weekend. You know what I mean? And we're going to see who wins. You know? But like I said, I expect both sides to have a great closing argument. I expected that. So I expected the prosecutor to have a great closing argument, piece together their copy and paste RICO that they did. So they did a great job of that. And the defense is going to smack all that stuff down tomorrow. And people are going to be mad, big mad, that they are doing that. But hey, it is what it is. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Live from the Diddy trial. Hello. Live from the Diddy trial, guys. Let's see. What time does the defense start tomorrow? Now they're saying it's going to start around 9 o'clock. So, you know, about 9:30-ish, you know what I mean? So around 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is going to start tomorrow. And it's gonna be a high drama tomorrow, baby. High drama tomorrow. High drama tomorrow. All right, Cat D coming says Free Diddy or charge the sex workers. Also, prostitution is not legal. Cat D coming, and I'm like, well, if they really thought this is a big deal and this and that, why not charge the sex workers? Why is Punisher allowed to roam around and do interviews on DJ Vlad and Willie D and all the news networks and stuff like that, and he's not being charged? That means he participated in the sex trafficking. Right? Now, Diddy's defense team. Diddy's defense team said, no, well, Punisher and them people, they were not prostitutes. Diddy hired them as entertainers. They were advertised as entertainers. They were advertised as escorts, not prostitutes. So y'all gotta take it up with the entertainment company, the escort company. He just gave them tips for a job well done with Cassie. You know, I mean, he hired them not as prostitutes. Oh man. Listen, the defense is gonna they try to do what they can do, man. Like, you know, it is what it is, and you know, the law is the law in the books, and this is the law in the books as it's written. I think the law is stupid the way it's written. I think personally, sex trafficking should be more so you kidnap somebody, you put them in the trunk of your car, you put them in your basement, and you force them to do S work for you for pay. You do assault on them, without their consent. Of course, underage minors, if they're involved, they're not allowed to consent to that, so you can't deal with them, so that's automatic guilty if that was the case. So my idea of sex trafficking is different than what is written on the actual books. So that's the tricky part. If the jury all agrees with what's written on the books, then they're gonna say, all right, he's guilty automatically, right? That's the issue with Diddy is running into, and that's 15 years to life in prison for sex trafficking. That's the problem he runs into. But if they get one juror that feel like I feel like, these are grown folks, no underage minors, whatever. I'm not gonna give them that. I'm not gonna find them guilty on that. I'll probably be the one lone juror say, all right, not guilty for the sex trafficking. Enjoy the whole thing off with that. You know what I'm saying? If I want to find them guilty of the Mann Act, I wouldn't even find them guilty of the Mann Act, because regular prostitution, that probably shouldn't even be illegal in the States anyway. So I'll say not guilty on that too. So it is what it is. So if you get one juror that feel like I feel, like I said, this is not, like I said, if he was being charged with the domestic violence of Cassie, I would find him guilty. But yeah, he's guilty. You know, judge, do what you may. But you know, that's not part of the charges. Puff was done for telling the judge be doing a great job. Well, not really. I keep hearing that. Just because Puff Daddy says the judges were doing a great job, listen, we know why he was doing it. He was sucking up to the judge. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now, just because Puff says that don't mean Puff Daddy's defense attorneys think the judge is doing a great job. Now, if the defense attorney said he was doing a great job, that'd have been different. But just because Puff Daddy said the judge is doing a great job, that don't have nothing to do with the defense attorneys. The defense attorneys say, well, you know, yeah, Puff Daddy said they're doing a great job, but he doesn't know law. P. Diddy doesn't know law. He doesn't know. He was just being kind and respectful to the judge. But the appeal person on Diddy's defense team just said the judge did a piss poor job. The judge is biased. You wouldn't expect Diddy to say to the judge, hey judge, you're a trash judge. You're a piss poor judge. Diddy ain't gonna say that. Come on, guys. Cut it out. Cut it out, guys. Cut it out. 1 pound fish. JJ in the building. How is it still light outside? Yeah, it's because it's summertime now, so it gets darker way later now. Out here inside New York City Road, Monchaz. Exactly 100, they overreaching. All right, I'm gonna get you your super chats real quick. Shout out to you, what's that? Avion Fields with the $9.99 says thank you. I appreciate that $9.99. We're going to see. Y'all can hear me right. Somebody said the sound is out. Like I said, I'm just here to give my opinion. And like I said, I had no idea what's going to happen with the 12 jurors, and I'm just laying it out for you. We're going to be back out here tomorrow for sure. And I appreciate the $9.99. Anybody new to the channel, please subscribe. I appreciate all you guys. So you're a Yankee fan. I'm a Mets fan. Avion Fields, but thank you. I highly appreciate the $9.99 donation. And we got another one, MK with the $1.99. Raze, what about erase serial numbers on the guns? Yes. Yeah, and they mentioned that, they mentioned that MK, they mentioned that, but they said the guns, they were legal guns, and in Florida, MK, and they were in a security room. They was in a security room. He does have security. He has official security. They were locked inside security rooms. Well, the room wasn't really locked, but it was inside a security room inside the house, right? And they asked the agent who found the guns, you're like, look, don't you have guns inside your house, agent? And the agent said yes. Diddy's defense team was asking, and it is not uncommon for people to have guns in Florida, right? And Diddy's house was in Florida. The agent said, no, it's not uncommon, and it is what it is. And it was one gun with the scratched off serial number. It was only one gun, MK. Now, and they were just asking, look, you could still trace the gun if it was used. With fingerprints, you could trace the gun to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they found the gun without serial number. But was it shot off? Did they shoot somebody with the gun? Was there a crime committed with the gun? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the big deal of that is, because Are they accusing him of actually shooting people with the guns? You know? Like I said, as the, the media across the street, you know. Like I said, we're going to be back out here. I'm going to be listening to see what's going on with Mark Afnifio, how you pronounce it, Afnifilo, the attorney that's going to be doing the thing tomorrow for the defense, and we're going to see, man. Like I said, I'm a fair guy. Like I said, the prosecution copy and pasted a RICO. They did a great job of bringing it home to earlier today, and the defense is going to bring it home tomorrow. They're going to cook tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Prosecution doing their job by locking up people. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They are professional. they professional at that. They do. They're highly skilled at locking up people and getting convictions and plea deals. And Diddy's defense team, they are highly professional and highly good at getting people off. And if he has to do a plea deal, so be it. These are some big charges levied against them. If you got to take a plea deal, go ahead and take a plea deal. It is what it is. Diddy, I talk about personal accountability. Diddy got himself into this. You know what I mean? Diddy got himself into this with his wild sex acts and, freakish nature, which is not a crime, though. But, when you are bringing people into your circle, and being reckless like that with all the drug use and stuff like that, you bound to get yourself in trouble. You know what I mean? Because, now I do know the drugs for personal use, but, buying the drugs, having people buy the drugs for you, you giving the government something to get you on. You got millions of dollars, billions, worth of billions. You gave them a reason to come at you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever reason they had, they couldn't come at you on the taxes, because you know, Bad Boy Records, they pay their taxes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not tax cheats or not like that. But you gave them an opening with your drug use and having people buy the drugs for you. So that's why they say Rico, and this and that, drug trafficking, and you gave your ops an opening to bring you down. And this should be a lesson to anybody, to all men, you know what I mean, that got money and that plan on having money in the future. Stay away from those Instagram models, and do not give the feds a reason, an itch to come and take down your empire. More money, more problems. The song was real. More money, more problems. I think Diddy is a drug addict, crazed sex addict, and it got him in trouble. It got him where he is right now. Dealing with high paid 304s, Jane Doe. You can say Cassie too. And it is what it is. This is the reason where he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? I still think that this was a copy and paste put together RICO. I think it sets a horrible precedent in America. But nothing we can do about it right now. But exactly 100%. They overcharged on Michael Stanley. That's what he's supposed to say. Yeah, Diddy was supposed to say that about the judge. He's not going to say, yo, judge, I hate your guts. You're doing an awful job. You know what I'm saying? Come on, guys. Cut it out. I was hearing that. Diddy is stupid. He shouldn't. And guys, like I said, Diddy's defense team, they wasn't going to put him on the stand to testify for himself. You know what I'm saying? Because he going to get cross-examined. He would have got cross-examined. And Diddy's defense team, they're gonna knock it out the park tomorrow. They're gonna knock it out the park tomorrow. All they gotta do is put some doubt inside the jury's heads that those witnesses, Jane Doe, Brianna was lying. Jane Doe was not coerced. Jane Doe was his girlfriend, which she is. She was. I think she is till today's. He's still paying $10,000 a month. So he coerced his own girlfriend. He coerced his own girlfriend, Cassie, for 13 years. They trying to say basically he held Cassie as a sex slave for 13 years. If all 12 jurors find him guilty that way, he's going away for a while. Then I mean, he's going away for 15 years to life. If they, I mean, basically that's what they're saying. They're saying because he didn't want to do a couple of freak offs, a couple of nights that he forced her, and that's 15 years to life. Even though I mean, so. What happened to Rule 26? The judge never, he didn't rule on it. I didn't see him rule on it. I didn't see anything that said he ruled on it. But he's not going to rule on it now anyway, I don't believe. It's going to just go to the jury. How you doing, Peace 4? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. We live from the Diddy trial. We're going to be back out here tomorrow. Diddy may be able to walk out of here tomorrow free via a plea deal. I don't think a verdict is going to come tomorrow. It's going to be kind of too late. They might get into deliberation, but it's supposed to go from like 9 to 5 tomorrow. 9 o'clock to like 9, 10, 11, 12 to around 1, 9 to 1. About 3 to 4 hours for the defense to make their case why Diddy is not guilty of this. And then lunch, right? It's gonna be around 2. You come back around 2:15. And then the rebuttal for the hour, 3, 4:15, yeah. And then the rebuttal from the prosecution for an hour, and then the jury instruction by the judge. So the jury might be able to deliberate for like a few minutes. But then, like I said, court's going to end about 5. The trial, it's going to end about 5 tomorrow. So we're more than likely looking at a verdict Monday, Tuesday. But a plea deal can be reached before a verdict. I know they offered a plea deal before the trial started. He turned it down. But there can be multiple plea deals made and offered by the prosecution. So we'll see. I think Young Thug, that Rico racketeering, that was pleaded out during the end of that too. During the end of that trial, I remember Brian Steele was making his final closing arguments, and then they worked out a plea deal with Young Thug, if I remember correctly. So the same thing that can happen tomorrow. Let me see. Travel Squad is in the building. What up, Travel Squad? RICO charges for short of actual application statute. Well, yeah, like I said, Diddy's defense team is going to make that case tomorrow. Their time to shine tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's hired a highly skilled defense team. People are wondering why they didn't, bring up any witnesses. Like I said, I think it's less is more with this. They don't want to put the witnesses up there and have them be cross-examined. By the prosecution. They feel that the prosecution did not really convince the jurors that Bad Boy Records itself is a criminal organization and that Diddy was the head of a criminal organization. Thus, racketeering charges should be null and void because it was just Diddy and Diddy alone engaged in the freak offs, and it was his own personal, enjoyment. And this is not some big conspiracy. Y'all gonna see tomorrow. We're gonna see tomorrow. Why is Diddy team waiting so long to contact Trump for the preemptive pardon? Well, who knows? They probably contacted him already. Well, Trump busy right now with the Iran-Israel stuff right now. You know what I'm saying? So. It don't matter if he can, if Trump want to pardon him, Trump do whatever the hell he want to do. Trump listens to nobody. Trump don't care. So if Trump wake up one day and say, hey, I want to make some headlines, I'm going to pardon Diddy. Because he'll do it, even though he said that Diddy made some bad remarks about him once he started running for president as a Republican. Trump knows if he pardons Diddy, if he's convicted, guess what's going to happen? Diddy is gonna say wonderful things about Trump, and you know Trump, he loves wonderful things said about him. So that'll be a way for Trump to turn somebody that was against him before, and now have him kiss up to him. Have Diddy kiss it up to him, and thanking him and praising him. And plus, it gets Trump in the headlines for a good deed for people that don't want to see Diddy in jail, in prison. Score some more points with the black community also in the meantime. I mean, say, well, he's willing to pardon another black man, another black rapper, you know. So, and like I said, this is not R. Kelly. Diddy is not he's not accused of dealing with underage minors. Now we know R. Kelly was once a pardon from Trump, or released from Trump because his life is on the line, he said in there. But R. Kelly was actually convicted of dealing with minors. People might look at Trump sideways if he grants a guy like that, you know, his freedom. The thing is with Diddy, surprisingly, there was been no allegations in this trial about anybody underage. He's not charged with dealing with underage minors like R. Kelly was. So Trump would have again, I think Trump would feel more comfortable giving a guy like Diddy a pardon than R. Kelly. How you know you're not a clone? Raze finally sees the writing on the wall. Hey, and Mac, listen, I have zero clue what's going to happen with the 12 jurors. I don't know if the jurors probably watching me right now. They probably getting drunk right now watching Raze and Raze, and then they're not supposed to be watching. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe, you know, yo, and Mac, and yo, social media age, guys. You see the Karen Reed jurors, they going on TV saying why they found her not guilty and this and that. And you know these Diddy jurors gonna want to do the same thing. They're gonna want to profit from this. They're gonna want to get interviewed. So the one juror that says not guilty on the main charges, he is going to be the one that gets the big time money for those interviews. Change his life. Social media age, guys, do not put it past one of these jurors and say, I'm gonna say not guilty. So I can get a bunch of publicity, guys. This is my one time, and get some good money and cash out being a juror, guys. And but what better way to cash out by being on this jury pool? What better way than by saying not guilty for Diddy? And then doing all types of interviews like the Punisher, like the escort, the entertainer, not prostitute, the entertainer, the Punisher, like he's doing. If you're doing drugs, you're digging your own grave. Yeah, you know. But like I said, he wasn't dealing drugs. Now they're saying, look, he distributed drugs to the party goers and stuff like that, the people in the free calls, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, it's different levels. But you know, I thought people that do drugs, I thought they get drug rehab, right? I thought the people that deal the drugs to the people, sell it, those are the people that get the time, right? I mean, that's just what I of Diddy. He gets 15 years to life for being a drug addict and having drug addict friends that participate in taking drugs with him and doing freak offs. That's where we at with this. Hit that like button, subscribe, baby, subscribe. We're gonna be back live. Tomorrow is the day. Diddy is a demon. Hey, you know, like I said, I would never say Diddy is a good guy. I would never stand up here and say Diddy is a good guy. But just because you're not a good guy, that don't mean you get 15 years of life if I don't feel the crime adds up. Like I said, Judge Mathis, he was like 3 to 5 years if he was presiding over this. He would give him 3 to 5 years. But unfortunately for Diddy, The government want to drop the sledgehammer. They want the 15 years of life. We'll see how much they really want it tomorrow if they do offer him a plea deal. Maybe they may feel that, you know what, we don't want to offer him another plea deal tomorrow because we think we got him dead to rights with the jury. We'll see, but we got to see how Diddy's defense team respond. I'm going to be monitoring it closely. I will be monitoring this closely, guys. You know, is it a Rico, or as my guy Uda on the go says, was it a Frico? Rico or Frico? A Frico Rico. Hit that like button, guys. Will Diddy be released mañana? Will he get a plea bargain? Will the jury have time to deliberate tomorrow? Historic trial of the century. Yes, he did, giving her a 10-album deal and only putting out one album. But and man, because she sucked. And to be honest, she sucked. You know what I'm saying? You know, and Mac, she sucked. Listen, and he wanted, listen. Diddy is a multi-millionaire billionaire. His way of living and life and stuff is different than what me and you would do. And Mac, his money is so big. The way they operate, the way they pay girls, and the way they get with girls, and their celebrity, they use their celebrity and stardom to get girls and have girls with them all the time. It's not stuff that we would do because we're not on in that same tax bracket as those people. Their method of operation is different, and so it's kind of foreign to us, right? Us normal people. And she stayed with him. She was with him. I mean, she was a grown. That's grown folks. I mean, you know, I can't like oversee every person's relationship, every person's argument, every person's breakup, and they get back together. I can't oversee all that and then bring them to court and put this crime on them and this crime on them, give them 15 years. I mean, I can't be doing. I don't want to be in people's bedrooms like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not depolicing. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I can't monitor that. You guys stay away from those Instagram models. If you got money, stay away from them. Stay away from those Instagram models. Like I said, you can watch their photos and go through their photos, but stay away from them. They're gonna like. Diddy was a guy with a crazy lot of money, very reckless with his money. You know, led with his wallet a lot of times. Got females to fall in love because James said she was in love. Cassie said she was in love. He was abusive, definitely 100% abusive. And we're gonna see. Should this have been a RICO racketeering trial? That's crazy. I'm more so, I don't agree with the RICO racketeering charge for Bad Boy Records. I think that's a crazy stretch that his employees was caught and engaging in criminal activities on purpose just to fulfill his freakish RICO fantasy with grown folks, grown adults, you know. He is not beating the feds. Well, what would you consider Young Thug? Young Thug kind of beat the feds with a 15-year probation, right? I don't know if you're going to call that a win, but I would call it a win if he were to get 10 years probation, 15 years probation, and walk out of here tomorrow. I would consider that beating the feds prime time. I mean, he's still going to have probation, right? But it defeats the. But it's better to get probation than to do 15 years of life in prison. What y'all think? me plug this in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, guys. This your short one. Diddy ain't going out doing drive-by shootings, killing people, and rapping about it. The victims are all adults who done willfully acts and throwing Diddy under the bus to save face. Yes, do drop. And Diddy's defense team is going to talk about that tomorrow in front of those 12 jurors. Shout out to T. Williams. Like I said, we will have a maybe a plea deal tomorrow, T. Williams. Maybe it'll go to the jury tomorrow, late tomorrow. You know, and we gonna be back out here tomorrow, T. Williams. Really, listen. I don't know what those 12 jurors are gonna do. Like I said, they might be watching me right now. They might be drinking right now. I have zero idea. I have my predictions, but really, to be honest with you, nobody knows what those 12 jurors are going to do. Not even the judge. Not even the judge. The judge don't know what those 12 jurors are going to decide. Not even the prosecution. So maybe the prosecution order have a plea deal tomorrow. Maybe the prosecution say, all right, we offer a plea deal like they did with Young Thug. Who knows? I'm just going to watch. I'm not making no more predictions. I'm just going to watch tomorrow. The main reason why he didn't take the plea is they also want asset forfeiture. They going to tax his pockets. Yeah, well, yeah, Mac. And I don't think they should take his assets because he didn't get those assets with drug money or criminal money, courtesy of the RICO racketeering, like the government says. So why are they taking his assets? The RICO racketeering was for his own pleasure as far as freak-offs and sex. And I guess y'all would have said sex trafficking and prostitutes and stuff like that. He wasn't selling drugs. He wasn't selling prostitutes to make a profit, in which led him to be able to buy his car and houses. So why are they forfeiting that? He bought those houses because he sold records. His artists sell records. So I don't know. I don't think it's fair for them to take his assets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I'm saying this is overreach stuff, you know what I mean? Diddy walking and Trump is cool with him. He just pardoned some other people. Yeah, Willie. You're right, Willie. I was saying Trump don't care. Trump will pardon him. Trump don't listen to nobody. Trump will pardon Diddy, and because he know Diddy will give him all the praise in the world. And that's all Trump care about. You play on Trump's ego, he will help you out. And Trump knows he's going to get some good press by giving Diddy a pardon eventually. Yeah, some people are like, oh, why you pardon him and this and that. But like I said, it's not a situation of underage minors like R. Kelly in this case. So, yeah, I can see Trump giving Diddy a pardon very easily, eventually. Very easily. Without a shadow, no problem at all. You know. Trump won't pardon R. Kelly, but Diddy got a 95% chance. Yeah. God will have the last say. So if in this, yeah, well. All right. Let me unplug this. Yeah, y'all can hear me, Drew? Yeah, guys, let me take another walk around here. Like I said, guys, tomorrow's the day. You can hear me, right, Drew? Tomorrow's the day, you know, I guess you could say final day of the Diddy trial. Well, you can't really say that because if there's no verdict tomorrow, we'll be back out here on Monday. We'll be back out here on Monday, so... Sound good, M-Mac? All right, M-Mac. Shout out to you, M-Mac. Shout out to M-Mac. You know, and like I said, M-Mac, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows, not even a judge. But it's gonna be high drama. And Mac, we're gonna be out here. I should bring out a grill. I should bring out a grill and start grilling out and get kicked out. You know, I should put the grill right there, right in front of that gate. Now that'll be me causing trouble. I'll be acting like Johnny Somali at that point, getting in trouble out here. Got Eyewitness News. J-Dub, who's that? Who's that? J-Dub, like I said, I think they overcharged Diddy. I think they could have got him on lesser charges and got the conviction on state charges for assault and stuff like that. I think there's some stretch going on here with the RICO and racketeering. I think it's an abuse of the RICO. But it is what it is. I say, you know, nothing we can do about it right now. He just better hope, which I expect his defense team to make a great argument for him not being guilty. They're going to knock down everything that the prosecution said today. Prosecution did a great job of copying and pasting a RICO racketeering argument today and putting out there in front of those 12 jurors. And Diddy's defense team is going to have to combat that tomorrow, which they will. And it's going to go to the jury. I'm not on the jury, so, but I did say if I was on the jury, I would say not guilty because of jury nullification. Jury nullification gives a juror the right to say, you know what, I don't like the law that's written, and so I'm saying not guilty, even though that guy may have, violated the law that's written, but I don't like the law. So I'm going to practice jury nullification. Y'all can Google what that is. And I'm saying not guilty because I don't like the way the sex trafficking law is written. And that's the big one, 15 years of life. And I believe, and to be honest with you, I don't believe Jane and Cassie was trafficked. So, you know, I can say not guilty on that anyway. You know, just on my thoughts of Jane and Cassie not really being trapped. They were boyfriend, girlfriends, and it is what I mean. Just freaks and money chasing 304s. Fame, they love the lifestyle. The Capricorn Clark lady that said she was kidnapped, she said she would go back to Diddy. You know what I mean? She loved the lifestyle. She did ask for another spot in the company when she left a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's that Hollywood circle. That's that Hollywood circle. You know what I'm saying? Grown folks. No one's no, like I said, no one's no minors involved and stuff like that. I'm like, man, I'm staying out of that. I'm a grown man. I just won't, if I know what's going on in that, if I go to one of those parties and I see stuff I don't like, even in the regular life, I go to somebody, a party, and I don't like what I'm seeing there, I just leave. Or if I stay, I damn sure not going to another party, back and forth, over and over again, for years, and then later on claim victim. I do drugs with a bunch of people. That's on me. You know what I'm saying? That's on me. But I guess for females, no. All right, these females, I guess they can't control themselves. I mean, they don't have no control over themselves. Diddy had control over them, I guess. I mean, that's what the government is trying to say. So, we'll see what the jurors say. You know, I mean, they were that weak. I mean, I played the audio. I can't play it now because I'm not on StreamYard. I played the audio yesterday of Cassie threatening to unalive somebody, cut them up in pieces and get them missing. So she didn't sound that weak on that audio. And the defense played that. Hopefully the defense play that audio tomorrow too, to show that she was not some weakling. She was able to have confidence enough to say that she would get somebody murdered and cut up into pieces. So she didn't play victim that day when she was threatening that man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to HB Going Global in the building. Salute to you, HB Going Global. Everybody new to the channel, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. The big day is tomorrow, guys. So that's my guy, HB Going Global. Diddy has some big connections and he will get little time. Ajima's World, shout out to you, Ajima's World. Guy, Ajima's World in the building. Hi. We see tomorrow Diddy should be free. Now, the only way he goes free tomorrow, guys, is through a plea deal tomorrow. Plea deal with just, you know, time served, maybe 10 years probation, something like that. Otherwise, the verdict is going to be too late. It's going to be too late. Even if they start deliberation, it's going to be too late. So a verdict won't happen until like Monday. But there is a chance he could walk tomorrow, walk free for a plea deal. This other side, nobody out here right now. Always remember to beware of the motos. Shout out to you, Drew. Philip Dinner here in Australia. We just think that attacking P. Diddy because the Democrats don't like him speaking about Trump. No, the Democrats, Rose right saying stay safe. Yeah, well, as long as I'm outside those doors, and I'm not in Diddy's situation going inside there and in handcuffs, I'm safe. You know what I'm saying, Rose? Right in here. Court buildings. So what are y'all predictions, guys? Well, is he gonna get a plea deal tomorrow? Is Diddy walking tomorrow? I'm asking you guys. Will Diddy walk tomorrow, get a plea deal? Let's say 10, 15 years probation. He gotta do just time served with time served. He got to go through drug rehab. He got to do anger management because I do believe he needs anger management. Of course, that sensitivity training, of course, for female. I mean, I guess, do that. All of the normal stuff. And he not allowed to buy any more baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Or else he gonna, violate probation and be sent to jail, to prison. It's a little MK. If Diddy gets off, he should make a free throw. No, stay away from the freak offs. He need to stay away from, unless he's gonna do it in Indonesia with Russell Simmons, where there's no extradition treaty. Either way, his boy Trump will take care of him. A lot of people are saying Trump is gonna pardon him anyway. I believe it's a good, I say 60-40 chance that Trump pardons him eventually. I'm not saying right after he's found guilty, but I think Trump will pardon him eventually, especially right before Trump leaves office, definitely. I think he'll be found guilty on several charges and be sentenced to a total of 35. Woo! So Mac, you want Mac? Is the stuff he's accused of worth 35 years? We just seen Young Thug get off and get 15 years probation, and Young Thug stuff involved shootouts in Atlanta, and he had other co-conspirators on trial that was facing time for shootouts and violent acts. They was trying to say Young Thug crew, they was responsible for like 85% of the crime out there inside Atlanta, and he got only probation. So you want Diddy to do 35 years just because his girlfriends he convinced them. Now, do you want to use the conversion? He convinced them to do freak offs, even though some nights they probably didn't want to do it, tired, but he convinced them to do it. I mean, that's 35 years of life. I mean, you can give them some punishment, but man, you guys are harsh. You guys are harsh. Murderers don't even get that. I mean, not all murderers. Some murderers do, but not all. But that's the thing with those minimums with the sex trafficking. It's crazy. 15 years. Like I said, if it was real sex trafficking that I know, the real sex trafficking, like kidnapping a person and putting them in the back of your car, bringing them across the, you know what I'm saying, selling them, even pimping. So do y'all consider what Diddy was doing with Cassie and Jane pimping? I mean, it seems in those messages they were consenting. Now, a couple of nights they probably didn't want to do it, but they were in relationships. Look, listen, we all have back and forth with our people we in relationships with. Now, their relationship is more of a swinger type relationship. No strings attached relationships. Some have, but they have feelings for each other. It's a weird relation, but we all have relationships where we go back and forth. We try to convince our girl to come over that night. She don't want to come over. We might promise her something, or I'll take you out to dinner tomorrow. I'll give you $100 tomorrow for your kids, whatever, or something to get them to come over. And they say that that's coercion. Guys, be careful in life, guys. All I can say is be careful. I'm just putting that out there. Be careful in life because right now, anything is a crime right now, and this right here is going to set a big precedent, and it is what it is. She is the 304. No pimping here, consenting adults. Yeah, it's like these are consenting adults that agreed to do those free calls. I mean, like he doesn't take it, but he gave home Jane Doe 150 grand over 3 years or 2.5 years, whatever. I mean, he wasn't taking her money. I mean, well, whatever. Like I said, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. If he is convicted, it is what it is. But we will be back live tomorrow for sure. Hello, Lars Shaw Poole Thompson. Yeah, I know, Mac. I know the prosecutor said it doesn't matter how many times they said yes. If they said no one time, he's guilty. Mac, well, that's their opinion. We are all humans. The prosecution is human. They make mistakes as far as writing this law, and the people that make the laws, they make mistakes on writing the laws. I think this law is straight up BS and trash and garbage. That's why I will practice jury nullification if I'm not guilty. So it is what it is. You know, because like I said, it opens up the door, opens up Pandora's box for you being in a regular relationship, convincing your girl to come over for a night. You know what I'm saying? You might shower her with some money to come over, you know, and this and that. And that's your girl. But all females want money. They like money, no matter if it's your girl or not. Your girl still wants money from you from time to time, but she gonna call you a broke bum and try to dump you eventually. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for the donation today. Hopefully the jurors do the right thing here, set them free. Yeah, we'll see. Keish, you never had I guess you never had a relationship, Keish. You don't understand what I'm saying. You never, you know what? I'm not going back and forth with you, Keish, because, you know, maybe I'll open up the panel over the next few days, and you can come on the panel, and we can have this discussion with your camera on, so I can see who raised you. I want to see who raised you. And you can tell me, I ask you the same question. I answer your question, but I get you on the panel. You turn your camera on, and I ask you. So you answer your own question first, that you ask me, and then I answer your question. Let me see. Like I said, Keish, I will open up the panel over the next couple of days. You're free to come up here. Feel free to come up here. And if we can have that discussion man to man, eye to eye. I'm not talking to you in the chat. I want to see you on the camera. Let me see. That's the thing. 99% of guys don't want to watch their girl with another man. Yeah, like I said, but not the 1%, bro. They volunteered to go indulge in that lifestyle because they wanted to be in the music industry. They went along with it in Mac voluntarily. That's an adult decision. They're not kids. If they were minors, yeah, that's their decision. They wanted to be with Diddy. They wanted to Diddy Bop. They wanted to be stars, celebrity. They wanted to be around all the celebrities. They did freak offs without Diddy. And that will be shown tomorrow via text messages. Diddy's crew is going to drop the hammer tomorrow. Yes, sirree. Be prepared. Shout out to everybody. It's been fun. We will be back here tomorrow early. It's D-Day for Diddy. D-Day for Diddy. Hit that like button. Everyone is different here. They wanted to go see celebrities. Yeah, they wanted to be celebrities. They wanted to be around celebrities. They wanted to have sex with celebrities. They wanted to get paid by celebrities, in which they did get paid by celebrities. They probably wanted to have kids with celebrities so they could collect a check for the rest of their lives from celebrities. High paid, high expensive 304s, in which now has gotten Diddy in this mess. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Same bat time. Well, not same bat time, but same place tomorrow. Early tomorrow. Raze will be back live. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Let's get it. Tomorrow, D-Day for Diddy. Salute everybody. You guys have been great. We shall see. Will Diddy walk tomorrow? Will he get the plea deal? Yeah, in Mac, in Mac, they weren't. They were entertainers in Mac. Entertainers in Mac. Nah, shout out to you guys, man. I'll be back here tomorrow, man. Salute to you guys. Salute.